Welcome to the Diner, right here on West Central's Best Radio and the Today's Country 105.7 YouTube channel. My guest on the program today is none other than Chuck Cannon from Fort Polk Public Affairs. In this episode, we talk about Fort Polk and beyond, so let's jump right into it. You're listening to the Diner. The doors are open. Pull on in and walk inside. You're at the middle of the day, and it's the Midday Diner right here on West Central's Best Radio. Micah Pickering in studio here with you, and we're having a great time today so far. It is a great day for weather outside. We're almost done with June. Hope you've gotten all your summer plans lined out because we are jam-packed full of stuff going on. And here to talk with me a little bit about what's going on, especially Fort Polk way, it's our buddy Chuck. Chuck, how you doing today?
Doing great, Micah. How about you, buddy?
Oh, we're doing great, doing great. What's going on Fort Polk?
Well, before I get into some events that are going on, I want to remind people, I know you guys have been great about putting this information out, but in light of a couple of things that are coming up on the weekend, I wanted to remind people about the gate situation at Fort Polk.
Yes.
The main gate and the Alligator Lake Gate are the only two gates that are open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The other gates, along with the Visitor Center, are only open Monday through Friday. So if one of these events that I'm going to talk to you about happens on a Saturday, if you want to come and you don't have a military ID card to get on base, you need to come during the week to the Visitor Center to get you a pass for that weekend, because there's not going to be anybody there on Saturday.
Yeah, so you need to get your guest pass in advance.
In advance, yes. Okay, so the first event I want to mention is not happening on Fort Polk. It's up in Simpson.
Okay.
The village of Simpson. They're having a red, white, and blue ceremony, and they're going to have a parade that kicks off at 11:30. It starts at the Baptist Church there in Simpson, and it's not a very long parade, but then they're going to have a fest type setup. And Fort Polk will have a marching color guard in the parade and two vehicles. And I believe our Garrison Command Sergeant Major is going to be riding in one of the vehicles in the parade. And then when they get to the event, they're going to have the two vehicles set up as static displays, so the kids can go and touch them and crawl up on them and see what they're like. So that's in Simpson on June 28th, kicking off at 11:30.
All right, big happenings out in Simpson.
There you go. Now for Fort Polk, on July 3rd, we have our Garrison Change of Command ceremony.
Okay.
It's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it kicks off on Warrior Field. Oh, no, I take that back. It's not at Warrior Field. It's at what used to be the museum on Fort Polk. It's now, I forget what they're calling it, but it's where the old museum was, right next to Bayou Theater. So that's where Colonel Adam Barlow will be our new garrison commander, and he'll be replacing Colonel C.J. Lopez, who's just kind of moving down the hall to become the chief of staff for JRTC in Fort Polk. So that takes place at 9 o'clock, July 3rd. And then on July 4th, this is another off-post event. The city of Lake Charles is hosting a red, white, blue, and U ceremony where they're kicking off a year-long celebration for the 250th birthday of the United States. And 15 Aviation, our helicopter unit, is going to do a flyover.
Oh, wow, a flyover.
A flyover, yeah, and during the national anthem. So, and there's supposed to be a lot of things where they're supporting the military and a lot of things to do. It's over by the water there in Lake Charles. So that's a nice event. On July 11th, at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're having the official name change ceremony.
July 11th at 9.
9 o'clock. Now, it was changed back on June 11th, but we're having our official ceremony on July 11th.
All right.
And it'll be 9 o'clock in the morning on Warrior Field, and there'll be families from both Sergeant John Henry Johnson, who it was named after, and then the General James Polk family will also be there.
Okay, so that's a pretty good crew.
It will, and it should be a really nice ceremony. And then the last thing I wanted to mention for you, Micah, is on July 12th, and that's that Saturday that you'll need to come early if you don't have an ID card to get your pass. We're having a July 4th spectacular. There's going to kick off at 1600. There's going to be fireworks. There's going to be a movie night where they had the big screen set up out on Warrior Field or on Headquarters Field, so you can see the movie. Bring your lawn chairs, your blankets, or whatever to sit on the ground out there. Should be a great deal. There'll be food, vendors, and just lots of things to do, and it'll culminate with the fireworks display.
And I heard through the grapevine y'all got the new Captain America movie going to show out there.
I don't know. Who knows? It might be. But MWR does a pretty good job of getting first run type movies out there. So
all right.
I would not be surprised if that's who it is.
Yes,
so,
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Well, that kind of wraps up the next 2 weeks. I mentioned to you before, when I come back in 2 weeks to give you the next update, we'll talk some about Forge Fest. So mark your calendars down for that first week in September, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'll be able to share that with you.
All right. Well, hey, folks, there is a lot going on Fort Polk, as you know. There's always something going on, something good. And I want to hit that thing about the gates one more time. Tell everybody which gates are open 24/7, and just so they know.
Okay, Gate 1, the main gate, which if you come up Entrance Road, that's the big front gate that you come through. That's open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And Alligator Lake, the gate over by Alligator Lake, that's Gate 7. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The rest of them, they're limited hours, so if you want to get on, the Visitor Center is only open Monday through Friday now, so get your pass early. So if you want to come in on the weekend, you can come through one of those two gates and get on.
All right. Well, that's the way you can get on Fort Polk. Hey,
it's hard. I know.
It is hard.
It was hard the other way.
Yeah.
Now it's hard this way again.
I made it through most of it. I said Polk, and then right there at the finish line. Would you believe that?
I was impressed.
I was psyching myself up because I said, I know he's coming today.
Yep.
I know we're getting ready, and it's all of that. And then right there at the end. Well, there's a whole lot going on Fort Polk, and you can always stay in touch with us. We'll keep you up to date with everything going on. And I want to thank Chuck for coming in and joining me today.
And Mike, I want to thank you guys for always being willing to spread the word about Fort Polk. We really appreciate it.
All right. Hey, happy to do it and happy to support our men and women in the service.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for listening to The Diner. If you like this episode, be sure to like and subscribe to the Today's Country 105.7 YouTube channel. Download our smartphone app to take advantage of our live stream, and always keep your radio tuned to Today's Country 105.7. I'm Micah Pickering, and thanks for pulling in to The Diner.